Your Honor, on behalf of the state of Iowa rests.
Okay, record should reflect the state of Iowa rests.
Now, he looked confident, much more confident than I looked in my first few trials when I uttered those words. And think about the case that they've put together here, a great case. You've got a little bit of everything. I mean, you have the confession or alleged confession, depending upon how you're looking at it, right? You've got some of the forensic evidence. You've got some videos. You've got eyewitnesses. You've got some of the digital footprint that you're able to put together. So prosecutors put it all out there. Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter is in Davenport, Iowa, and has more for us tonight.
Vinny, the prosecution rested its case in chief after 4 days of testimony, calling 17 witnesses, including today the medical examiner and a forensic anthropologist, to walk the jury through the cause and manner of Mollie Tibbetts' death, the many sharp force injuries sustained to Mollie, possibly up to 12 stab wounds assessed from her head to her torso.
Based upon your training and experience, the results of your autopsy, do you have an opinion as to the cause of death of Mollie Tibbetts?
Yes.
And what is that?
Multiple sharp force injuries.
And based upon your training and experience and the results of your autopsy, do you have an opinion as to the manner of death of Mollie Tibbetts?
Yes.
What is that?
Homicide.
On cross-examination, the defense pointed out these stab wounds would cause significant amounts of blood loss, which was not found in the defendant's car. Also, the jury heard an intense cross-examination of the lead case agent, as the defense mentioned around 10 names of other suspects they allege the police may have overlooked.
Remind the jury how far from Ron Pex's house Mollie Tibbetts' body was found.
I think it's the adjacent property.
The fence line to Ron Pex's property was within 100 yards from where Mollie Tibbetts was found?
That's probably close, yes.
And Ron Pex's house, quarter mile maybe, from where her body was found?
Yeah, that would be close, yeah.
What did Ron Pexa have to say after you discovered Mollie Tibbetts' body?
Judge, I'm going to object. Calls for hearsay.
Sustained.
You didn't talk to Ron Pexa after Mollie Tibbetts' body was found, did you?
We didn't need to.
You didn't find it a bit ironic that this man who you had 2 tips on, the body was found a quarter mile from his house?
Objections, argumentative.
Overruled.
I would say Christian Rivera cleared Ron Pexa.
Question was, you didn't find it a bit ironic that this man you'd received at least 2 tips on, the body was found a quarter mile from his house?
No, not at all.
Ultimately, the case agent made clear that Christian Bahena Rivera cleared all of the other suspects the police investigated. Vinny, tomorrow we expect the defense to begin its case in chief, which could last a couple of days. They should first give their opening statement, which they deferred from last week, and we expect them tomorrow to call a DNA expert, a relative of the defendant, possibly the boyfriend of Mollie Tibbetts again, Dalton Jack, and a friend of Mollie's, Hope Beck. We'll bring all the latest to our viewers tomorrow. Back to you.
Chanley Painter in Davenport, Iowa, and really, you can see where the defense is posturing this case, and we knew it kind of from the beginning because of the nature of this investigation. There were so many other seemingly viable suspects, people who were doing things that seemed suspicious, people they were getting tips about, people were calling about. So expect that from the defense, but what I want to show you right now is the big finish, the comeback. That was the cross-examination of the case agent, Trent Valletta. But then there was the redirect examination. And that's what, as a prosecutor, what you have to do is you got to kind of clean things up, right? Whatever damage is done on cross-examination, you want to rehabilitate your witness and finish strong with like an exclamation point. And that's exactly what this prosecutor did, which is probably why he was so confident when it was time to say the state rests. And the issue that he has to deal with in this situation is all the other potential suspects who are out there. Take a listen.
Based upon your assignment of leads, information that you received back from any of those other officers that would have checked on Dalton Jack's alibi, did you receive any information that he was present in Brooklyn on July 18th, 2018 at or around 7:30 p.m.?
No,
Or, 7:45 p.m.?
no,
Other than Dalton Jack, you were asked a number of questions concerning other men that you would have interviewed, or you would have had other law enforcement agents interview to see if they had any connection to Mollie Tibbetts. Is that true?
that's true, yes.
Some of those men would have been Wayne Cheney, Ron Pexa, Jackson Eichhorn, and others that have been raised here by Mr. Freeze. Would that be true?
That's true.
All right. Were any of those men associated with a vehicle that was repeatedly seen in the vicinity of Mollie Tibbetts when she was jogging on July 18th of 2020 at about 7:45 p.m.?
No,
Were any of those men associated with a black Chevy Malibu with chromed mirrors, chromed handles, and a sporty spoke wheel? Anyone?
no,
Whenever you spoke to any of those men or had other agents speak to them, did any of them tell you that they encountered Mollie Tibbetts on 385th 385th east of Brooklyn on July 18th of 2018?
no, they didn't.
Did you have information that Christian Rivera told Pamela Romero that he had done that?
Yes, Christian Rivera said he saw her, followed her out on the 385th.
Did any of the men that you talked to or had other agents talk to indicate that they were angry with Mollie Tibbetts on July 18th of 2018?
No,
Did Christian Rivera provide that type of information?
he did. He actually said he was not only angry with her, but he actually fought with her on 385th.
Did any of the men that you talked to, the same list of men, indicate that Mollie Tibbetts had threatened to call the police on them?
No, just Christian Rivera did.
Were you able to develop any evidence that any of the men raised here by Mr. Freeze were angry with Mollie Tibbetts in any way?
No,
Were you able to develop any information from any of the men, including Dalton Jack, any information from any of those men that they made admissions that Mollie Tibbetts was in the trunk of their car?
no, just Christian Rivera is the only one that told us that.
And Agent Valletta, prior to August 21st of 2018 in the early morning hours, did you or anyone else in law enforcement know the whereabouts of Mollie Tibbetts?
No, we did not.
Did any of the other men that you interviewed indicate to you, as Christian Rivera did to Ms. Romero, that they brought you to the location?
No,
And whenever we say brought you to the location, what location is that?
where Mollie Tibbetts' body was.
None of the other men told you that, correct?
Correct.
Did any of the other men that were interviewed in this case tell you how, or describe to you how Mollie Tibbetts would have been found?
No, just Christian Rivera did.
And that is that she was covered by corn stalks, correct?
Correct.
How was Mollie Tibbetts found in the field?
covered with corn stalks.
Who provided you that information prior to you seeing her in the cornfield?
Christian Rivera did.
Any of the other men that you interviewed at all give you that type of information?
No,
One person in this case, is that right?
that's correct,
That
yes.
person is the man seated here to my right, Christian Rivera. Would you agree?
Yes.
Textbook redirect. Awesome job by the prosecutor. That's what you want to do. I mean, because, once the jury hears that cross-examination, oh, well, they didn't do this, or they should have done that, or they didn't do this. How about this guy, that guy? Keeps bringing it back to the defendant, the defendant, the defendant. It was solid. It made sense. And it's a clear message to this jury that, come on, don't pay attention to all these other things they're talking about. Everyone knows who did it. The guy who admitted doing it, he's the one who did it, ladies and gentlemen. So great job by the prosecutor. But again, tomorrow, the defense will have their opportunity, and we'll see what they do, because there are we've been saying this from the beginning, there are other people who did things that sounded very suspicious, and they were investigated. And that's the nature of the case, right? You do a really good, thorough investigation, you're going to kick up some stuff that looks like, oh, well, maybe we should look at this guy. But they did, and they cleared them all, and that's what they have to make clear to this jury. All right, when we come back, the other case that you're watching right here on your front row seat to justice, the Jinx murder trial, Robert Durst. Things resumed today. And remember, this is a case that is really about 3 separate murders. The first being the murder of Robert Durst's wife, who disappeared. Prosecutors spent a lot of time on that today. We'll take a look at it when we return.